position. Well, guys, final shot for Carl Edwards at Kyle Busch. Does he have something for him? Can he stay there? Boy, Kyle is stout.
And those restarts, he just pulls out 4 or 5 car lengths before they get to turn 1. It's been really hard for Carl to keep up. If he can maybe anticipate the start, he might be able to cut it down a few car lengths.
I don't know. He might have to jump him if he's going to do anything there. The 18 car is just amazing on these starts, and he goes through the corner wide open, and he's got a 6-8 car length lead before you know what's going on. I think Carl, as much as anything, he may be able to hang with. It'd be interesting to see. They got some laps on the tires, but I think as much as anything, he doesn't want to lose those 5 points with Jeff Burton right on his bumper. So as much as he's going to try to catch Kyle here, he's going to play a little defense too.
I want to give a tip of the hat to the engine builders for the Toyota folks. They put a smaller spacer plate. Those guys, what would you call it, awakening a sleeping giant, made them mad.
They've certainly done their homework. I was able to stay with him a little bit better there, but you can just see that Toyota really power up right there and pull away. And
that's just nothing but a chassis dyno from that start-finish line to turn 1. No handling involved. You see that thing just pull right out ahead of Carl Edwards.
Well, we see Brian Vickers there. He's got himself back to 4th after that problem that they had on pit road in the green flag pit stop. So he's had a good night. His car's just not quite as good as it looked like it was going to be at the beginning. We see Jeff Burton trying to get around Carl Edwards.
Burton goes down on the inside, and Edwards pulls down.
That's a little drafting move. He's trying to take a little bit of that air off of that 29 car and slow him down before he could get clear.
Exactly what we were talking about earlier, that Joey Logano said that he had learned some things about the air at Michigan, and that's exactly what we were talking about, getting over there and what we call side drafting just to hold that car up. And you see that it worked for Carl Edwards. He got back by Jeff Burton.
Now Burton falls back into the clutches of that car, 32 car of Brian Vickers, and see if he can make a move up to the outside.
Now 1 lap there, Kyle Busch got almost 7/10 of a second lead just in the 1 lap. So that hurt Carl's chances by him having to race Jeff Burton right there, as we see Brian Vickers taking over the 3rd spot from Jeff.
And Joey Logano making a pass for position. He goes by the 17 of McMurray. That's for 5th spot.
That's a good race car. That's pretty impressive. He'd never seen this racetrack before Friday, and has done a really good job all night. See Jamie McMurray right on his bumper there, trying to make that pass back.
McMurray finished 6th here in February in that car for Roush Fenway, trying to get a top 5 here tonight.
See him use a little bit of that knowledge that he learned there. He got down on the right rear quarter of Jamie, even though Jamie's going to go on and make the pass here. You can see, young man's learning quickly.
These are 5th, 6th. You see Ruderman back behind him. He's in 7th. Then our points leader, Boyer, back there is 8th.
He's up for 2nd spot right here.
Vickers got that high line work. It's what he had going early in the race whenever he had the fastest car on the racetrack.
You kind of wonder where he went.
Back is the 29 behind him.
It looks like he's got his energy back here, and he's moving back to the front, but it's 5 to go.
Carl's just trying to find out there how far back the 29 car was so that he knows how much he can do here with Vickers up on that high side. You really lose sight of those cars sometimes, and you can't see back there to if you're going to lose 2 spots if you happen to if Vickers would get on the outside of him.
Carl Edwards knows every spot is critical if he's going to move in on the points race. Look at Vickers all the way down almost to the grass in the corner.
Yeah, he had Carl guarding the high side, and Vickers decided he'd go down on the apron and try to make the pass.
That's one thing we've seen Vickers do all night long. He's never been in the middle of the track, either extremely low or extremely high.
You can see right there how much Carl gained on him right there by having that momentum off the corner by running that high line. So he's taking Vickers' line away from him, which just shows how smart a race driver Carl Edwards is.
Again, this is 2nd. There's the leader. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th. You see 5th, 6th, Logano 6th, and the points leader, Boyer, now all the way up to 7th position.
These other guys have had their troubles. He and his team have taken advantage of this. They've got right now sitting a 204-point lead. And I can assure you, even though he's happy to have that as a driver and you're in a championship battle, you don't think that's nearly enough. You're wanting more, but it is a lot more comfortable leads. We see Kyle Busch come by. 3 to go.
Best race on the racetrack is this 32 and 29. 32, a pretty special car for Toyota. By the way, TRD's United States headquarters in Costa Mesa, not far from this racetrack. So how excited would they be to have Toyotas run this well, maybe dominate this race here to get another win like Tony Stewart did back in February.
Gibbs team been awful impressive in the 2 runs here at California, the 2 races so far in this series. You see Jeff Burton down below the white line himself trying to make a pass. Got a little bit loose right there. And that's what you fight as you come up out of the point if you try to stay on that too long. But it worked. He's right on the bumper of Brian Vickers trying to take over that 3rd spot.
Flag next time by for the leader as Burton goes downstairs again, tries to take a different line, slide up in behind Vickers. Vickers has the momentum up off the corner. Back in February, Tony Stewart led 136 of 150 laps. Folks are talking about what a dominant performance that was. The most laps led by a winner in the past history of this race was Earnhardt Jr. back in 1998. He led 141 of 200 laps tonight.
Flag. We took it, so reckon.
22 car is in the wall and the white flag has waved.
So that means the race will be over. Once the white flag is displayed, the next flag is the checker flag.
So this one is history. Josh Wise in the 22 car gets up and tags the concrete. Final lap.
Amazing tonight. Thank you so much. Unbelievable.
It really was amazing performance for this 18 team.
Just dominant all night long. Unbelievable. I mean, they weren't even challenged at all, really. We said a couple of times some other cars were running faster lap times, but that was literally after 25, 30, 35 laps on these tires.
A record-setting night for Kyle Busch. There is the 60 car. Carl Edwards right behind him. So these guys will come by and give a friendly wave.
Our wonderful graphics people got that stat up there about nobody won from the pole in this, because we wouldn't have been able to use that in February when we come back here. So
yeah, we're finished with that one.
Yeah, not only did he lead the most laps ever by a driver who won the race here, 143 is it official, 144 I should say, out of 150 laps. He becomes the first driver to ever win from the pole here in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Shannon.
Well, Dr. Familiar face down here, Steve Addington, of course, Kyle Busch's Cup crew chief, calling the shots for this nationwide race. You guys have dominated in Cup. You dominated this race tonight. What does this win mean to you?
It's awesome to come back here, but I'm going to tell you, it all belongs to Jason Ratcliffe and all these guys. They unloaded this thing, and it was just sick fast. And it's been just tweaking on little things here and there on it, and through the race, just doing little adjustments here. So this is hats off to all these guys right here that work on this car every single week, and they did an awesome job.
All right, congratulations. And, of course, you know Jason Ratcliffe and Dave Rogers are excited for this team here tonight.
Kyle Busch getting, which is his signature. He gets out and does the bow to the crowd. Remember, Carl Edwards does the signature somersault. Kyle gets out and waves to the crowd, and sometimes will get his hands out and count the wins. By the way, this is win number 7 for Kyle in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. The Camping World RV Service 300 is history here at Auto Club Speedway of Southern California, and there is the victory lap. Busch, courtesy of our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for over 50 years. Kyle Busch making his way to victory lane. Let's check in with the second place finisher, Carl Edwards. Jamie.
And second place was it for Carl Edwards. Good points tonight, Carl. How are you feeling at this point in the championship hunt? You guys sit third still.
Oh, yeah, it was a great points night, but I mean, nobody was going to touch that 18. Those guys were screaming fast. So, yeah, we did the best we could, and I just got to thank Save-A-Lot Ford, Scott's, and yeah, it's a great points night for us. At the beginning of the race, I didn't think we were going to even be close, and then at the end, we were actually getting pretty good. So, a lot of fun, but Kyle was in a different zip code there tonight. Nobody could touch him.
It's going to be good for tomorrow. I heard you say tomorrow you guys are going to heat up. How about you and Kyle? You guys, it's going to be the same thing, 1 and 2 tomorrow?
That'd be nice, but we'll be 1. He can be 2. He can have tonight. That's fine. We'll give that one to him. But I think tomorrow's going to be good. We're going for 3 in a row, and I think we can do it.
All right, guys. You said it, Carl Edwards, and I believe Kyle Busch just rolled into victory lane.
Kyle Busch getting into victory lane, picking up his 7th win in the NASCAR Nationwide Series, 18th win on the year. Celebration ongoing. Let's go down to Mike.
And Doc, in February, Kyle Busch ran runner-up to Tony Stewart in one of the more dominating races. It's hard to believe you were able to top what Tony did back in February. You described the car as amazing. What was it like to be behind the wheel of this car tonight?
This thing was flawless, man. It was just amazing. And, I really got to thank all the guys back at the shop, Jason and Dave both. This one here, I got to dedicate this win to Jason Ratcliffe. I mean, the way these guys prepared the cars coming to the racetrack was just phenomenal. All the Z-Line Toyota guys on this thing was, this is Toyota's home track. These guys were awesome today, this weekend. I want to thank the fans for coming out to California Speedway supporting those guys, and it's just fun, man. That was pretty cool. So, Jim Sexton's here from Z-Line too, so great to have those guys in Victory Lane with us.
You made it look incredibly easy tonight. What was your biggest challenge?
I think the biggest challenge was just being able to get good on the restarts, and then be able to get away. We're still getting fast back here, but these guys are pumped up, man. They're excited. It doesn't matter if you win a late model race, a nationwide race, a truck race, a cup race, man. You never know when your last one's going to be. So this one means a lot, and these guys, they've had a lot of adversity on them here in the past few weeks, and they don't deserve the bad rap they've got. I don't care about my bad rap, but these guys here, they're the ones that work hard at the shop and do all the hard work. So really got to thank these guys a ton.
Alan, Kyle may not know when his next win's going to come, but we're starting to lose track of how many wins he's got this year. This is the 7th in the Nationwide Series.
It's unbelievable. Mr. NASCAR so far this year for Kyle Busch. And let's check the Nationwide Series championship standings after tonight's race. Clint Boyer only lost 19 points to Carl Edwards, while Brad Keselowski lost 82 points after his engine problem. And now we have, 8 races to go.
You don't want to lose any points, and Brad Keselowski lost a lot tonight, but he's got some good tracks coming up. I mean, that short track next week, this kid's a short track racer, might make it up right there.
Absolutely. I think he can get some numbers back next week. And how about old David Reagan? He gets a good top 10 finish tonight, along with Joey Logano, finish 6th.
That is Richmond next Friday night, by the way, the next race for the Nationwide Series. But that's next Friday. It's Labor Day weekend. We've got a ton of motorsports coming your way on the ESPN family of networks. Next, NHRA Mac Tools U.S. Nationals qualifying from Indianapolis. Plus tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. and 5 Eastern. NASCAR Now pre-race edition at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning. The IndyCar race from Chicago tomorrow on ABC. And then the Sprint Cup Series Pepsi 500 from here in California, 7 Eastern time tomorrow night. The NASCAR Now wrap-up edition late night. And the NHRA Nationals finals Monday noon and 7 Eastern time. We got all kinds